the cannabis industry really is, from this ground up. So we're trying to set standards and we're trying to be treated like all other industries when it comes to financing and insurance and ahead of FDA, right? Because we have a lot of regulatory people in all of these states that not necessarily understand all the nuances here, which is why experience becomes important. But it's also from a company point of view, what is the true culture? What is the true vision of this company? And so this conversation is a lot about those leaders and establishing leadership and what are the qualities of that. And you use the term people sustainability. So talk a little bit about that. Talk a little bit about leadership qualities and how do you match that talent, person, and guide your client in understanding how to match up what their vision and culture is to the right person.
Sure. So, for us, ideally, we work in a partnership manner. Other search firms work on contingency and don't partner as closely, and that can be a successful way to go about it. And a lot of companies do prefer that. It's less of a time investment. I think it's more of a gamble when trying to get the right long-term win-win fit. I think when you allow your recruitment partner to truly partner rather than be a vendor and a resume mill, then if they can really understand the culture and what fits and understand the personalities of the rest of the team, then you can vet well beyond paper fit and just matching resume to role description. So how we do that is simple, but not easy. For us, we really get to know the candidates we work with to placement really well. And, working as a retained search firm affords us the necessary time cushion to really get to know the candidates as we walk them through the process. And we really have the opportunity to measure their communication skills, written and verbal, the way they prepare for important conversations. Meeting preparations important. Are they taking this very seriously? Is indicative of, are they professional? Because what we're trying to do is place leaders of these companies to help them scale and professionalize. We're looking for consistency of messaging from these people. What's really important now from leaders is building trust through transparency. So we look for consistency of messaging and are they trustworthy and transparent? We look for how they're responding to adversity in the process, because a lot of these interview processes, the best can be mapped out start to finish, and there's always going to be hiccups. So how do people respond to, meeting times changing or the cast of characters in the interviews changing? And are they pivotable and adaptable and flexible to go with the flow? And we have some clients that purposefully change the interview process up just to, throw a curveball at the candidate and see how they respond. And so on all the touch points as we go through the process, where we're always going back to talking about situations and tasks and actions and results from their past lives that are relevant to the role. And because of the way we get to work on retainer, we have a lot of opportunities to talk to the candidates throughout the process, and we're always measuring their interest and deliverability and qualifications. And one thing I forgot to mention is, we're looking for builder leaders for our clients. I don't think anyone's in a maintenance mode situation in cannabis. So we're collecting examples of how people have built teams, how they've built new business units for established companies or built businesses from the ground up. So we're doing all of those things over the course of weeks or months throughout first meeting the person. And by the time we've placed someone in a leadership role, we've become friends with them. We've really gotten to know each other so well through mutual sharing. And by then, they've essentially proven to us that they're a good person. It's really hard to survive our process if you're not a good person. There's just a lot of conversations they have to have with me. And I love people. I love talking to people. And I think that good people like interacting with other people. So if someone's going to survive the process and talk to me as much as they need to, maybe they could fake it through and maybe not be a genuine good person and just really want the opportunity. And that's okay too. We're testing their fortitude. Good executive recruiters are really good at reading people. There is this intuition. You don't just become a great recruiter overnight. There's this intuition that comes with it. And I think that's developed over time. It's hard to train. Maybe it comes more naturally to some people, but for us here, we've gotten really, really good at trusting our gut and our intuition on what fits. And then, of course, always coaching the other side, the interview team, on watchouts. What the last thing I'll say on this topic is just we look for a really good long-term fit. So I think what our clients really appreciate about us is we will call out the flags and make hiring teams aware so that they're making a fully well-informed decision. We'll happily move on from a finalist candidate who's about to receive an offer if they raise a big red flag, rather than place the person and hope it works out. We like stickiness in placements. And I guess this is a good segue to people's sustainability, because the stickier your hires are, the better your organization is going to perform, because people are gelling together better, right? You see it in a sports analogy. You see sometimes a team with a lot of money goes out and hires a bunch of all-stars and just smashes them together and figures it's a lot of great talent. So of course we're going to win a championship. But it really takes, chemistry that's built over time amongst everyone and trust built amongst those people on the team to win that championship. And, we like our clients to be champions, of course. The more they win, the more we win. So we look for that. So it's not looking for culture fit so much as culture contributors. There's always good and bad with companies, and we like to understand what the good and the bad is. There's always warts on a company and an opportunity, so we want to understand what those are and help them hire people that can deal with the bad and accentuate the good and contribute to the positive aspects of the culture and help them deal with the bad, whether it's a lack of process orientation or whatever it may be.